Let me tell you something. Clay is on the way. Hello, my pottery friends. Welcome to the last day of 2025. It is literally the 31st of December, and I have a kiln opening. I wanted to do this 2 days ago, and I had everything set up, opened the kiln, and then my boss called. I said, "Oh, Monique, can you come and work? Somebody called in sick." So I did. But, I mean, a kiln open, you cannot close it and walk away. No, nobody can. So I quickly unloaded it because I wanted to see it, of course. It's all here on my desk. So that's why I'm not over there, but over here. I fired a lot of pieces that were waiting because I couldn't fire, you know, my controller, blah, blah, blah. You will know that story. Thanks to Ellen, I can now. And there are some new things too, and I will tell you why that happened. Let's start with the best piece. Yes, I made a set. Sgraffito, of course. There's still some alumina hydrate on the bottom. Ta-da! Look, it's a bird bath. And to go with that, can I do this without dropping it? Oh my word. Ta-da! A bird feeder as well. Isn't this cute? I so love it. I so love it. This was already waiting for me and was already bisqued. I only had to glaze fire it. It has a little bit of milkiness here and there. I brushed on a clear glaze because I didn't have enough to put it in a big bucket, and you know, so I don't really mind it on the black. It's fine. Inspired by the chibi-chibis, we call them, sugar thieves, I think, in English. And this one, on the other hand, does not have any milkiness. White clay, black slip, and sgraffitoed. Oh, I'm going to show you one more time, just because I like it so much. Isn't it good? I love it. So that's one. I had already also made a bunch of butt vases. Oh, this one has a crack. Look. Ooh. My head out of the way, maybe. I guess that one's mine. A lot of flamingos. I don't know. I have 4 of them. Do I really? You need to see them all. I don't know. Oh, look. Something in the clay. I saw it not until after the bisque, and there was this tiny little black dot in my white clay, and I thought, you know what? We'll see what happens. So I did put it in the kiln in such a way that just in case this would blow out, it would not go in the direction of my elements. But yeah, you can call it a unique one, I guess. One more. That's all the sgraffito flamingos. Of course, a multicolored turtle one. This is 3 different colors slip I made myself from the same clay body and added mason stains. If you're new here and you don't know yet, I have a free PDF with over 40 recipes for colors to make with a white clay. It's on my Ko-fi page. Link is down below. One, of course, with cacti. I live on Bonaire. That's why the flamingos and the cacti. This is 2 colors of green. One with just blue and some fish. Oh, and another cacti. And while I'm showing you this, let me tell you something. Clay is on the way. Speaking of the Ko-fi page, because of you, this amazing pottery community, you made such a big difference with your donations. But also, if you didn't donate but sent me a sweet message, that really warmed our hearts, and it helped us a lot. So thank you again. But I have ordered clay, and I've ordered different clay than the ones the two that I've been, well, a little more than two, I've been working with. It's somewhere on the ocean right now. I have no idea when it will be here. But because of that, of course, I had to make room, or at least, put new liners in my bins. I'm looking that, but there are big bins over there where I keep my clay. And Lord and behold, I found half a pack of clay. Not rock solid even, but very stiff. So I made slabs, let them dry, crunched it up, and put it in a bucket. And then I found another bucket with more reclaim. So all of a sudden I had clay, well, not much, but I had a little clay that I had totally forgotten about. And so I did make a few new things, and because it's reclaim of reclaim of reclaim of reclaim, probably, I just thought I'd experiment with it. But first I wanted to make myself a mug to let me know that I'm okay. This, well, I'm holding it in my left hand because I'm a lefty, so it's so cold on the other side of the pot. And I adore her. I'm going to have my coffee in this one. Life's a bitch, but so am I. You better count on it. We never give up here. So yeah, that's my future coffee mug for in the mornings. How did I do this? I think I roughly sketched it, and then filled in the colors with my slip, of course, and then I waxed it, carved the outlines and the text, and laid that in with black slip. That's how I did this one. I also I have one more thing to show you, which was already in my stash, and I just put on 5 coats, I think, satin patina. Tumbler, vase, whatever. Tumblers don't sell really well. I personally don't like drinking from a tumbler either. I don't know why. Yeah, I don't know. It will probably be a vase or something, or to hold my pens. The glaze in and of itself is a beautiful one, but putting it on a whole pot, it's pretty but boring. Okay, more experimenting with that clay, and I'm going to have to mention somebody. Denise McDonald, thank you so much for putting that video out. I don't know if you know me or watch me, but just in case, I'll put a link to her YouTube channel down below as well. She has a very different way of making pots, or at least cups and mugs. She works with a thrown bottom and then a textured slab, and then she combines those two. I loved it, so I thought I'd try it. So this is the first one. So the bottom is thrown, then the slab is wrapped around it, and I did texturize the slab, and I'll talk about the decoration in a second. And so the slab is connected to that bottom that's on the wheel still, and then of course a handle. And she makes beautiful textured cups, and because of the different clay that I have ordered, I was looking for fun ways to play with that because it's a tan colored clay with a little bit of speckle. And I was browsing through Pinterest and I saw this beautiful combination of this with a red iron oxide wash and then a glaze like this. I am working on getting that the way I wanted. This is not the color I intended. It's, I don't know if you can see, but in those come on, focus, in those creases there is, I mean, I can tell that it's probably a little bit too much red iron oxide. It's doing some funky cracking things, and the color is not the way I want it. This glaze, by the way, is the soft aqua, which if you have a little bit of red iron oxide in on your white clay, becomes even more beautiful than it already is. Well, at least I think so. I'm not quite happy yet with the shape. I think it's a bit too tall, but you know, I'll keep practicing. This is another one, and this color wise comes a little bit closer to what I want. It's this beautiful reddish color that I like, but here and there it's more of a dark brown, even gray. So it's the mixture and the intensity of the red iron oxide that I have to play with. This also thrown bottom, slab wrapped around it, then turned upside down and trimmed away. And you can still see, can you still, oh, maybe you can see better on this one. Yeah, you can see here. There's the seam. I like it when you can still see the seam. And this one too. A little bit more difficult to see, I guess. This is the Scandinavian blue, again with the red iron oxide. I love playing with this technique. So yeah, I'll be doing that more with that other clay in mind. And I was throwing off the hump for a change. I hadn't done that so long, and I saw somebody who made these tiny little cups. I'm going to have to look her up. Is it a her? Yeah, I think so. And yeah, very fiddly to do this, but fun. And again, some has that beautiful reddish color and others don't. This, by the way, is also the satin patina, but you can see the difference. This has only 3 coats, and then it's not as turquoisey. Oh, and there's no glaze on top of the red iron oxide, by the way, neither on those 2. This one, I think they're cute. I don't know, you know, what should I ask for them, but you know, these tiny little handles, oh my gosh, it's very fiddly, but fun. This is I think this is pearl white with added mason stain. And I had a tiny bit left over of the beautiful nori green glaze, but I thinned it out too much, didn't put enough on, and then it becomes this yucky green brown. I might refire this one. This one is also, oh no, this is a clear glaze with some oxides. I think rutile and cobalt, very dark, not very pretty. This one though, this is cute. This is the Scandinavian blue. Tiny, tiny, tiny. And I have more tiny because I threw little vases off the hump, then cut them in half and gave them a backside so I can put a magnet here. So these will be fridge magnets. And again, playing with that red iron oxide, it's too brown, black, gray for me, this one. But for instance, this one has that beautiful reddish brownish color. This is the satin patina. So yeah, fiddling. I've been fiddling a lot. Aren't they cute as a magnet? I like it. And one more. That's carved, just carved. That's all. Yeah. So I'm happy. I can end the year with some pieces that are done, and I'll be patiently waiting for my clay. As soon as I have it, you will know it, and then I can get to testing that clay, and you know the drill. So yeah, let's end this one with my favorite. Going to put a rope in here, hang it up, put some water in here for the birdies, and wishing you a very, very, very good end of 25 and even better 26. And keep the conversation going, stay creative, keep potting, and yeah, make the world a better place with your beautiful work. And I'll see you next year. Bye bye, my lovelies.